What is up, guys, and welcome back to the My Team career on F1 2020. This is part 4, which will be in China, which is a really hard track for me. I wasn't expecting anything great out of China. I still don't, as we just quickly had a couple activities into our thing. Second driver PR filming, durability team building, weight training, and then driver promotion filming. I do everything that gives a positive reinforcement. There's a couple that you can specialise in one area and it demotes the other areas. But we have an invitational event here. It's a checkpoint challenge. Checkpoint challenge here in a 2010 Red Bull Racing RB6 round Zandvoort, and I'll let you guys watch it. So as you can see, this car slides around a lot. It is super cool to drive though. I'm glad they put these invitationals a bit more rewarding in, so you get 1,000 R&D points for completing this challenge. I didn't think I would at one point, so I hadn't driven around Zandvoort before. After driving around Zandvoort for a little bit, it is seriously good track. I love this track. It flows so nicely, and when you get it all as one, it feels so good. It's such a good track. Nearly covered the distance. We do slightly run out of time, but we get it done here. So this is the car obviously said Vettel won his titles in, and adjustments of this car, him and Mark Webber, his teammates of course. You just hear the difference in engine, and you see the difference in speed as well. That hit 170 there. In the modern day F1 cars, they get 190 to 200 down that straight. How much faster they are now is ridiculous. So you can see there I brake way too early. I realised later on that you can just dive bomb down there, ease off the throttle, and then just nuke it down. Obviously you don't have DRS on these cars or ERS or anything like that, it's just pure racing. Here we are, passed. So it's a 3,000 points essentially. As we advance time, we're going to get our weekly resources in back up to 1.7 million, which is not bad at all. And we're going to start our China race weekend into free practice. You're going to see how well I do here as well. Not the greatest session, but we learned the track enough that I can qualify decently, I would say, as we do the acclimatization here. In my Spider-Man car.
Okay, your goal is to get through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Best of luck out there.
So here we are, end of the first practice lap. You can see I only missed one, and then I wanted to leave that in just to see how wide I go. So you can see I clearly don't know the braking point of how fast after you go 200 miles an hour where to stop. Eventually I learned it's basically in between the 100 and the 50. Like as soon as you hit the 100, I start braking basically, is eventually how I do it. And then the end of lap 2, you can see we're all purple all the way through, which is great. Can't remember if we remain purple for the last 4 parts, but last 4 barriers, but you can see I'm getting it a bit better, but yeah, still miss. And now I'm using a flashback because I don't want to waste the points, essentially. I want to get this right. And I don't think using a flashback in practice is bad. I think using a flashback in the race is quite bad. I wouldn't do that because I think if you make an error, you make an error. As you can see, I just can't get that right. At that time I just leave it. Using a flashback, that's where I think it's useful in a practice, because you don't want to waste an entire run, but on the other hand, it's your own mistake. On the final lap here, just come up to the last corner. Don't nail it, but at least we get through the barrier this time, which allows us to get all of the points. It's not the perfect lap, but I don't learn it. I learn more on the race, to be honest with you.
Has drawn to a close, so let's
As you can see,
review our
Albon goes first in practice. We are 18th, mixed last, but was on the hard tyres and still beat the Williams on the medium, so not so bad there. Just see some R&D points for myself and Mick as we go into qualifying. Actually, no, yes, show the R&D tree. Something failed. Of course something fails, always fails. So we just redevelop that again. The aerodynamic part, as our aerodynamics are pants. But here's the tricky part. We're in the rain. The bloody rain. Intermediate tyres. All my points now I've just learned from, as you can see here, what I've just learned from being on slicks is now out the window. I've got to learn the whole track again through a qualifying session, essentially. Can we do it, is the question. I know the track a bit better now, which is the positive. The negative is that I don't know the braking points in the wet. I don't know how hard to turn. So I kind of take it easy, I think is the best way. Get a good lap in. Not necessarily anything special, but just set a lap was my aim. As you can tell from when we were in Vietnam and we were in the wet, all I had to do was just set a normal lap and I would have been happy, and I'd spank it into the wall. It wasn't a great session for me. See here on lap 2, trying to gain as much time as I can. I've already gone too slow for the other sections, and look how far we get just off that drive. We pull down 3 seconds of error from the last lap, just from where we weren't competing at full speed down these corners. As you brake hard into the left, we're up by 800. Oh, it was at 800ths of a second. Now it's considerably less, but it's still up. Still up on the, it's green on the delta. This is the tricky part as well, learning where to brake on this part. I think I get it just enough. That is not wrong, but then the secondary lap, the secondary corner goes a bit wrong. Stay in the dry patch all the way down. There's no DRS obviously because it's in the rain. So I've just got to hope now I get that braking point correct. If I get that braking point correct, I can get a decent lap in. Even though this lap is still filled with a fair few errors. As you see, brake a bit too early, back on the gas, then another brake. Not great, but it was better than going wide. So I still gained 2. But as you can see here, what's happened? What's happened? What's happened? I'm out of fuel. Out of fuel! Out of fuel. Absolutely ridiculous. So I just show the next flying lap. As this is the flying lap where I'm pretty sure I'm proud of this one. So I'm currently last, behind the Williams of Latifi and Russell. So we go into the final corner. We're going to start our flyer. I don't think there's a load of time on the clock, but I've got to get this sorted now. I've got to get a good lap in, just one lap. As you can see, we're already up just from the first corner. Look how slow you must have gone, even around the first corner, to have gained this much time. A second. Whole second after 2 corners. We go purple in sector 1. There's no way we're setting a fastest lap here, is there? No way. 1.6 seconds gained. So we hang it round, and suddenly the Spider-Man car is getting used to this track. Schumacher can do what I'm doing, where Schumacher is actually ahead of Giovinazzi. I don't know where he is, but he's definitely higher than 18. So he's qualifying better than he was previously. We go fastest in sector 2 as well, in the old Norton Spider-Man car. 2 seconds gained so far, 2.5 seconds. It's rapidly going up. We must have been going so slow, just not confident on the throttle at all. As we come down the last straight here, this is why I've left the full lap in. I wanted to show you that I was quite proud of this lap. The fact that I've made the adjustments. And then we hard brake at the 100 board. And we get it just wrong, but not wrong where it punishes you. 2.5 seconds up, still gaining. 3 seconds, cut the corner. 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds, 4.7, 5. And we go top. 5.8 seconds. Now, granted, it went up by 4 seconds at the end because, and we finished 4th, obviously, in qualifying 1, so that puts us into qualifying 2. It only happened because we ran out of fuel. That's why it's such a crazy time. But it's still great. It's still 1.7 seconds faster, 2 seconds faster, something like that before it went crazy. And here we are gaining a lot more time because we're on slicks now, which is great. Qualifying 2, no longer in the rain. Track's dried up. We're on soft tyres here. Let's come down the final straight, big straight. 2 seconds on our time. You would obviously gain that much time. I would have thought it's actually a bit more. Hard brake into the penultimate corner. And famously, Verstappen hit Vettel and spun. Final corner, 2 seconds up. Gonna set a personal best, no question. DRS open, across the line. Go purple in sector 3 to bring us second in Q2. Second. But that's not good enough. And we go 16th. Everyone whoops the time because the track gets drier and more grip. And I didn't go out again. I thought, oh, I went second. I should be fine. What a mistake that was. So we're out in Q2. But we beat Kevin Magnussen again, I believe so. Swings and roundabouts. Getting some acclaim for myself and Nick. And we're going to crack on with the Chinese Grand Prix.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel and Albon, Ricciardo, Ocon, Norris and Daniel Kvyat, Stroll, Perez, Carlos Sainz and Raikkonen, Gasly, Lewis, Mick Schumacher and Roman Grosjean, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Last race, let's aim
Here we
to
are.
keep the momentum going.
Going to do our race strategy now, just check what it was. So they want us to start on the softs, and I thought, because I'm near the back of the grid, let's start on mediums. Let's push and do the opposite. Let's see how far, because I for the last few races have found that the mediums work better for me than the softs. So I'd rather be on the mediums to start with, see if I can push, and then change to the softs. I just thought I'd mix it up, change the strategy around, see if I can get a bit of, when everyone else pits, I can just start pushing laps further, because then my tyres would be properly warm. They wouldn't have been worn out by lap 5ish. As we start here on the 5 red lights, and we immediately get quite a regular start. I wouldn't say it's anything special. Side by side there with Gasly. Gasly always likes banging into us. As you can see here, I go down the inside, but Gasly cuts across. Doesn't give me any room at all. We're just banging wheels with everyone as we go past. Gasly gets past us, regains that position. And now we've got Roman Grosjean on our tail. But as we make a lovely little dive down the inside, are we going to get Gasly here? Just cut him across. Give him one back, thank you very much. And Grosjean gets him as well, just desserts. That's what you get, Gasly. You cut up Spider-Man. I run him so wide, Roman Grosjean just takes his spot, and now Mick's on his bum. Mick's right up in. And now we're stuck behind Raikkonen, because we know Raikkonen is miles faster than us. But we're on the mediums as well, so the odds of actually catching and overtaking these people isn't the plan. The plan is to maintain DRS distance with them all until they pit, and then I put the foot down. Then I go rich mix, then I go full overtake. As you can see here, Grosjean trying to make a dive down us. Not working out too well for him. He gains a lot of speed, comes around the inside. I'm late on the brakes here. And he just backs out. He just backs out. He doesn't do what Roman Grosjean does in real life, which is back out, which he should. So, thank you, Roman, because otherwise we would have both ended up in the gravel, and a lovely VSC would have probably come out. So I'm trying to get into the slipstream of Raikkonen, but what I think is I'm just getting his dirty air. Not slipstream at all. He goes full defensive mode by the end of this lap. I try and go around the outside. As we start lap 2 here, alongside again Roman Grosjean, still trying to get past us. He's right on our tail the whole time. He's on the softs, remember, I'm on the medium, so holding him off right now against Haas, who are probably our main rivals in the season based on car. I think we're better than Williams. I think most people's cars are going to start off better than Williams. but Grosjean is always going to be in that half-second gap behind me, and Schumacher's right behind him. He's within a second. At the end of lap 3 here, we're going to come across the final corner, come down, and you'll see there's Schumacher doing a half sandwich. Just how he likes it. At least he's ahead of Magnussen there, and both brilliant cars. So at least Schumacher is beating some people still. As we're halfway through lap 4 now, personal bests, so we are getting faster, which is good. We're maintaining P15. Raikkonen's got past Kvyat. You can see he's right up my ticker still. As Giovinazzi has now got past Romain Grosjean. So now I've got Alpha behind, AlphaTauri in front, and then Alpha ahead of him. Just far enough, I think, that he can't gain clear advantage through my slipstream at the moment. He's probably just getting dirty air. As we go full defensive around the inside. But how wrong was I? Giovinazzi goes the long way round and absolutely does me. He makes it look easy. Gains so much speed, goes left, goes right, goes back left, goes round the outside. What a move from Giovinazzi. He has the full drive out, his soft tyres doing it for him. I'm still setting a personal best, so I'm only getting faster, but back down to P15 for me. Grosjean behind. At the end of lap 5, everyone else is banked now. As you can see, they're all coming into the pits finally. Giovinazzi staying out for one more. He'll probably come in on lap 7. As that we overtake everyone else in the pits. So this is where we've got to push. This is where we're pushing now. We're in 3rd place behind Stroll, Giovinazzi, obviously doing a longer stint on the softs. Schumacher behind us. He's going to come in next lap. I believe we're coming in lap 9 or 10. Going to get an extra couple laps out of these mediums. But now it's rich mix, now it's use overtake mode. As Giovinazzi goes in on the final corner there, we're going to DRS. We got the DRS off him, which is nice. We go P1. Oh yeah, winning the race. No, you don't need to pit. No, what's pitting? Bottas 5 seconds behind, so you can see how fast the Mercedes are. Hamilton and Bottas, Leclerc, they're all done. So we're just going to put our foot down, go as fast as we can. It will be a good measurement as well to see lap 7, start of the lap with 5 seconds ahead of Bottas. Let's see how quickly he catches up with us. You can see Bottas here. That's Hamilton, sorry. You can see Hamilton there. Nice shot of Hamilton coming around. How much better the Mercedes looks in our car. As we hit the hairpin, he's already taken half a second off of us. And as we approach the penultimate corner, he's taken a further second off of us. Bottas is now within 4 seconds. Carlos Sainz is out of the race. He's having mechanical problems. One of the McLarens is now down. They're relying on Lando to pull in the points. He pulls you over to the side. Poor Carlos there. Coming for the final corner. We're not setting personal bests anymore, but we're still setting decent times. We're still just in the 140s. And as you can see, by the mid next lap, Bottas has knocked it by another second. So you can see the difference in speed between the Mercedes and the back runner here. As Daniel Kvyat is now out of the race as well. Also engine problems, as you can see the smoke coming down there as he pulls off to the right hand side. He tucks the car away nicely. Wonder what happened to him, just mechanical failures I guess. The AI seems to have a lot more problems this season, and it doesn't matter where you are. Hamilton can just have an engine blowout as we move across for Bottas there. I didn't know how close he was, and I didn't want to risk him smacking into me over greed. So here's Schumacher still ahead of Magnussen, which is great. Don't let that Haas past. You've got to beat Magnussen. You can see we're trying to get a slipstream of Bottas. He's just so fast, so fast. The new flying fin I don't know if Raikkonen's ever been called the Flying Finn. He's known as the Iceman. The last Flying Finn I know is Mika Hakkinen. So we come into the pits, end of lap 9. We're going to stick ourselves on some soft tyres, but we're going to see where this strategy took us, because we're P4, we're ahead of all... We're in the big boys group. Our nose is covered in blood, we're too high up here. I've got a headache. I've got some ibuprofen in the glove box here. You know they've got glove boxes. Nice quick pit stop, kinda. 3.1, on the slower side actually. But Rich Mick's back on. Still got 0.8 of a lap extra fuel that we can burn. But we are behind Raikkonen by 4 seconds. So I'm not sure that the stint actually worked. Or did it? We go purple, lap 11. So suddenly Raikkonen is slow. He's been on these tyres for 4 laps now, 3 laps now. I think 4 laps. He came in lap 7. So now we are fresh. We're feeling it. We're feeling really racy. We've already caught Raikkonen up. We've knocked off 3 seconds of his time in one whole lap. Or is it 2 laps? It might have been 2 laps. It might have been 2 laps, but we make a good dive down the inside of Kimi there. The Iceman's feeling the pressure. We get past him into P12. You see, lovely move here. Just through slipstream, nothing more. A bit of late braking. Shut the door on the way out so he can't turn in. Lovely racing side by side. But we just get ahead. And we're setting personal best time now on the soft tyre. So the soft tyre feel good round China. Feel really sweet. ERS burnt out completely. We're really pushing here. Rich Mix, you can see our lap differential now is nearly broken even. So we've used a whole lap of extra fuel over the past 2 laps. Really gained some time. Now we're trying to catch the McLaren of Lando Norris. And then one above him is in Sergio Perez, who is the points. He holds the key to 1 point for us. Can we catch for 1 point within 3 laps? As we set the fastest lap of the race. Fresh slicks later on. A lot of grip out there. Starting lap 13, as you can see, lap 12 was us just gaining time on Norris. So much time, in fact, that we actually bumped my wing into his back tyre there. Luckily, no damage. As you bump a wing in this game, it's like stepping on a Mikado. As we make a huge dive bomb, Lando was not expecting that. I would be so angry. I always seem to do these dive bombs on Lando. It's always Lando every race. He covers so well defensively, and I just feel I know I'm faster, so I just bump wheels with him, give him a little shove, get out of my way, Lando. Britain on Britain, England on England. You've got the coolest name in the world, Lando, but you are no match for the Norton, the Spider-Man Norton car. And as you can see here, we're just going to fast forward here, go all the way through this lap, and see how much we can catch Perez by. So if we can catch him for this final lap, there are 4 places I can definitely overtake him. One being the end of this straight. So we're going to see DRS open. We've got no ERS available. You can see I'm using it absolute all. And we're going to make a massive dive bomb. See if we can actually get Sergio here. But he holds off really well. I just thought, why not go for it? We make contact, but I have to back off. He gets the inside corner. Sergio wins that round. Absolute great shots here. I love those cockpit cams. Sergio Perez just holding me off there. Great bit of racing in his Tracing Point car, the pink Mercedes. As I've recorded this, the Austria Race 2 has just finished, and I believe Renault have filed a complaint against Racing Point about the validity of their car. Not the first person to do that, but the FIA are going to go check over a few more drawings to make sure that they're all in-house. And as we hit ERS now, we do have our ERS. We're about to get DRS. We've got full power ahead. We're going to go dive down the inside as Bottas wins the race. You see here, followed by Hamilton, and then followed by, I believe it's Leclerc. Vettel was having a bit of a slower run. There's Vettel, yeah, ahead of Verstappen. We're gonna do our dive down the inside, block off any way he can get a switch under. The switchback does not work with me, Sergio. It's a great shot there, showing the speed. Going 200 miles an hour and straight down to second gear. Lando Norris right behind him as well. And we come home to take it. P10, last corner, second to last corner, get the point. I'm very happy with the point, and I believe we got fastest lap as well. Antonio Giovinazzi got driver of the day. He was very good. Doesn't load his picture because don't know.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So Valtteri Bottas wins the Chinese Grand Prix, followed by Hamilton and Leclerc, Vettel in 4th, Verstappen in 5th, Albon 6th, Ocon, Stroll, Ricciardo, myself finishing the points. Not bad. Mick got into 16th, not bad, ahead of Magnussen, the two Williams and Grosjean. Kvyat and Carlos Sainz DNF unfortunately. But what a great race that was, as I beat Magnussen again in the rivalry, which I'm very happy about. We get some more acclaim, which is really nice to see. So Mick moves up to level 5. We failed to make 75 laps, unfortunately, for our sponsors, but all good. We're going to do our activities, and if you have liked this video, get ready for the next round. Thanks guys. Like, share, subscribe.